Prepping materials for your art projects ahead of time is a great way to make the experience easier for your art partner to step into. For example, if I were going to be doing a paper-based or a collage project with my art partner, I would make sure to have a couple of sheets of paper for my artist to work on, and maybe a color sheet and a neutral sheet so that there's a couple of different options that are different. I would also have a pair of scissors on hand. These aren't always necessary. You can also tear your shapes, but it's nice to have a choice. And then of course a glue stick ready to go. And then finally, what I like to do is prep shapes ahead of time. So I have an envelope where I save all kinds of collage shapes so that they are at the ready. And these might be just kind of strange, inspiring organic shapes, or circles, or triangles, geometric shapes. They might already have some marks on them. That's okay too. The idea is just to give your art partner some choices. If they're having a tough time getting going, it might be nice for them just to be able to select from a pile of random interesting shapes and arrange them on a page where you could then help them glue down what they select. It's a great way to get the creativity flowing. So if you were working on a three-dimensional project, I'm just going to move all that out of the way. Perhaps you're using an air-dry clay like Model Magic. You might want to gather all of your found objects that you're going to potentially be using to embellish the clay ahead of time. Have them set aside for your artist. You can also prep the clay beforehand. Rolling it in your hands accomplishes two things. It gets it soft and easier for your art partner to handle and to use, but it also starts to do the same thing that we just talked about with collage. If you can create some interesting options, discs, circles, worms, snakes, to sort of get your art partner going or encourage them to get started, give them a launching place, it makes stepping into the project that much easier for them. And then finally, if you are using a still life for inspiration, go ahead and have that ahead of time at the ready. So here I just have a little vase with some flowers that we may use for inspiration. And if I know ahead of time that I'm going to be working with paint, I'm going to have all of my painting supplies ready. So a little recycled container with some water, my paint brushes, one of which I adapted earlier to make it easier to hold, some paper towels, a palette. This is just a dinner plate, and I would put out a little bit of my paints ahead of time to get that all set. And then finally, I would have my watercolor paper ready to go. So these are just a few tips to make stepping into an art project friendlier and more inviting and a little bit easier for your art partner.